because I don't really face what the future holds.
Another professional, one of a growing number worried about the education children are now getting. Week in, week out examines a crisis of confidence in our schools as a result of the largest ever survey of Welsh teachers. It shows a huge majority so demoralised they could be on the point of leaving. That's Week in, week out on the future of our education system on Tuesday night at 9:40, BBC One Wales. Like craft, design, technology and the sciences, where pay simply cannot compete with the rates in industry and commerce. This is the office of a financial services company in Carmarthen. Schools has made for special problems, an even greater workload for teachers who must translate much material, and greater difficulties for headmasters like Glyn Jones in getting teachers.
Now you're finding increasing difficulty then in attracting certain staff, are you? What are those?
Well, I've only discovered what is short through the advert I've made. Economics, nobody applied for that post, the advert. Parry, nobody. Welsh, I had one Welsh in a Welsh medium school, one applicant. Head of history, advertised 3 times. On the 3rd time of advertising, we had 3 application forms and 2 were called for interview. So that is how extremely narrow.
And this is a recent phenomenon, isn't it? In the last
it's in the last 2 years, last 2-3 years, it has become quite a serious. Well, it's becoming a very serious problem now. Very serious.
And one of the subjects Mr. Jones is most concerned with getting staff for is modern languages. Here, of course, it effectively means fluency in 3 languages, and the head cannot offer some subjects.
I am scared stiff of French. You know, where am I going to get the teachers from? I would love to offer German. But if I had the German teacher went halfway through a course, I don't know what I would do. So one plays safe at the moment and doesn't introduce German, which is not educationally sound at all. We're coming into 1992. I want these children to be able to, yes, they can speak Welsh, they can speak English. I want them to be able to converse in German, in French, well, other European languages I'd like to offer them. But, you know, I'm really scared of letting them down because they've got nobody to teach them.
In the staff room, the talk is of extra pressures and having to translate the teaching material into Welsh.
The onus falls on us all the time, that if we want to cope with these new syllabuses and so on, that we ourselves, in fact, have to do the translating, even though now the county with the consortia and so on do have an official translator, but it's still much of the work, in fact, revolves around us.
Do you think the authorities are aware of that?
They must be, but the money isn't forthcoming, in my opinion, really. Money comes from the Welsh office, it comes from various bodies, the WJC, etc., to set up various things. And this has happened over the years, but still, we're still without textbooks and so on, comparable to those through the medium of English.
But as science, especially science teaching, is advancing at such a rapid pace, what we're finding is that the Welsh textbooks that we have are being left behind. So we have to resort to looking into the English textbooks and having to translate from those, which is quite a problem.
What other pressures then are there that you found?
For the last 5 years, we've had a new set of notes to do for either the 4th or 5th year every year. You've got assessments with the GCSE, you've got assessments with record of achievements, and that's all on top of trying to do your usual preparation of lessons. Well, you know, you're getting frustrated because you know what you want to do, but there just isn't not enough hours to do the work to the standard that you were used to doing, say, 15 years ago.
I've just had to test now for the first one. It means I'll mark that. It'll take me so much time to mark it, but it'll take me as long to record on each individual card for each individual pupil actually what they've done. And that, as I agree with Lywena, is wasted time. I could be using that hour preparing
children.
another... No, I could be using that hour at home now, preparing another lesson.
I think the situation is more acute still. It's in science where you have to assess 201 parts within Key Stage 3, which is assessment of 11 to 14-year-olds. Now, 201, that's right. Assessments for every pupil. Every pupil, yes. And to me, I mean, you're supposed to have time to teach. Well, all you're doing really is assessing. Surely the information or the skills should be transferred from the teacher to the pupil before you start doing the assessment. And really, I wonder where we're going to get the time to do all this. I really do.
I know myself, as soon as my children have finished full-time education, I will leave teaching because, you know, the stress, it's just work, it's just too hard. Whether I get early retirement or not, I'll hope.
We joke with some of the younger members of staff here, what Dickens he is staying in for, because I think as far as my young children are concerned, I wouldn't recommend them to take up teaching as a profession in future, not unless things change drastically.
And that disturbing comment from one man who's taught for many years is perhaps an indication of how serious are the problems facing the education system in Wales.
We approached the Welsh office for an interview to talk to us about the issues raised in our survey and the concerns of some of the people in education in Wales. No government minister was prepared to appear on this programme. They did, however, issue a statement.
Pay, the most common reason given to us for teachers leaving. The answer was categoric. The government's view is that teachers have received fair treatment in relation to their pay. And for the most worrying issue of all, the high percentage of teachers who say they've considered leaving. On this, the government figures are markedly different. They say there's only 1% of teaching posts left vacant in Wales. As the children of the old system leave school, what will the future hold for those just beginning in the newly reformed state school system? If our investigations are correct, there'll be even fewer teachers under greater stress. Head teachers we spoke to all over Wales believe we could be storing up trouble for future generations.
The most precious resource of all is staff. And how long we're going to keep on having those, is, as I said earlier on, is one of my very big worries.
You talk of a crunch, you think it's that bad then?
I think